Yo, what's good, people? Everyday superpower where we talk body language, relationships, game, everything in between. I've got a good one for you here. This is the cold hard truth, and you want to hang on for this one because I want to change your opinion if you are of the majority. You know, most people believe the incorrect process when it comes to attracting women and how relationships work and how the game starts and so forth. Most people have it wrong and have been taught the wrong things, and even women believe this because they're not aware of their own behavior as well. You know, and the attention you need to dial yourself into is so minute, but exists that by even acknowledging this and looking out for it, you're going to be like such a great. You're going to fine tune yourself into finding openings to confidently speak to women so much above and beyond anybody else, right? I'm going to talk to you about women making the first move. Women make the first move. It's not men. They will say men make the first move, or I want a man to make a first move, and all men have to make a first move. And logically, you'd think, yeah, of course, duh. Of course, men have to make the first move because it's a showcase of a leader, right? Women love leaders. Of course. Women want you to lead. Women want you to go over and engage with them. They're not going to come over and engage with you. You look at society as a whole, unless that man has got a clear status that attracts women from the get-go, they are a somebody or they have something that woman wants. The woman isn't going to go over and talk to that man, but the man is going to, at first glance, when you view the situation, that man is going to go over and engage with the woman or find a reason to talk to the woman, right? That's how it's advertised, and that's understandably sensical because from the outside looking in, that is how it looks. But no, right? Listen to me. The woman makes the first move by creating an opening for you to engage with her. This is my principle, my personal philosophy of my understanding of attraction and repulsion. That which she is attracted to, those who she is attracted to, she will make herself present, make herself seen, make herself available proximically, like, as far as like how close she is to you, how far she is to you, where she's based, in your peripheral or straight up on her head. She's gonna create availability through this incredibly indirect and oblique means, and I'm gonna give you examples here, so hold on. You're in the gym. You're on the mats, right? So let's say we've got 5 mats in front of a mirror for a bit of stretching, some kettlebell stuff, some dumbbell stuff, whatever. You've got 5 mats. You're on the end mat, right? There's 2 women on mat 1 and 2, and you're on mat number 5, right? So there's 2 free mats there, mat 3 and mat 4. A woman comes to join in, do a bit of exercise, do a bit of warming up. She chooses mat number 4. This isn't by chance. When you as a man go to a urinal, you assess where you're going to go. It's political. There is an awareness of where you're going and why you're going in a particular place. Women are the weaker sex, physically speaking, right? There is a survival mechanism that exists within the woman that creates a barrier when you initially start to engage, because she doesn't know whether you're a potential threat or not, right? You could physically harm her. Men physically harm women, right? That is a thing. Some weirdos out there, we can't help that. They give us a bad rep. And not only do they give us a bad rep, quite simply, if there was no idiots going around hurting women physically, we still have the potential to do so. So why is she going to go out of her way to put herself in harm's way with a stranger she doesn't know? She's assessed her surroundings. She's seen two women at that side, taking number one, number two. She could join them women, right? Instead, she chooses mat number 4. She just does her thing. Gets on with it, does her exercises, you do your exercises. Of course, you've acknowledged each other because you have acknowledged her purely down to the fact that a stranger has just come and stood beside you. You need to be aware of your settings. You're already aware of the other two women. Like, they're all the way over there, but you're still aware of them because we have our own survival mechanisms. We're not just going to walk into a space and just ignore everyone in there. That's an easy way to get flipping killed, right? To put a long story short and be blunt about it, there's a survival mechanism, an animalistic motor in our brain, which is like, right, we need to pay attention to movement, we need to pay attention to that which resides in our space. We need to pay attention to how close that is, because that might be triggering to us. When someone's too close, we might think, whoa, I need to back off away from that. Do you know when someone gets too close to you, you step back, right? So she's assessed the situation, and for some strange reason, she's chosen to be beside you. Now, don't get me wrong, those two ladies over there might be two girls who bullied her in high school, right? So I'm not saying it's the be all and end all, but within reason, she has made some degree of availability to you. She is now present, right? Whereas she could have looked at the two bullies, thought, I'm not going there, and I don't really want to stand next to that weird guy. He's weird. He's repulsive, not attractive. He's repulsive. I'm repulsed. So I'm not actually going to be in this space whatsoever, right? I'm not forced to go and do this warm-up with these mats. If I don't feel comfortable doing it, why would I do it, right? Come on, common sense, right? We don't do that as men. If we feel uncomfortable going somewhere, what's the point? So she's made herself present. Such as when you're going anywhere in the gym, just acknowledge who's around you and why they're around you. Is there a reason for them to be around? And the bottom line is, there's acknowledgement of your presence. That person hasn't started doing squats in the squat rack when you're doing flipping barbell rows in the rack beside without acknowledging your existence first and foremost, because otherwise she would have just walked into you because she's not seen you. You know what I mean? She might have taken that rack. Oh, that's the rack I normally go. Blah, 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 blah. Walked straight into you. No, she hadn't done that because she's acknowledged that you exist on planet Earth within her same plane. So she's gone to the next squat rack and she's done her thing. Not repulsed, but attracted. Or at the very least neutral, right? Look at the odds. You're in a coffee shop. This happened to me the other day, so I speak, with complete honesty about this. I go to the shop, do a little bit of reading, have a bit of fresh air. The sun's been out. It's been nice. I thought, hey, why instead of just being stuck inside all day, let's do a little bit of reading. Let's go to the coffee shop. You go to the coffee shop, doing a little bit of reading. Your eyes aren't darting around the room, which is hard to do. When you want to garner attention or see what people are doing or see if anyone's looking your way, it's easy to have a look around and be that. But people pay attention to that and think, whoa, I don't want to engage with that dude who's just like looking around the shop. We don't want to be doing that. But when you get stuck into a book and whatnot, people find fascination in you. Just like, well, what's he reading? What's he doing? Who is that person? That person isn't desperate for attention. I'm going to give him attention. You see, you flip the switch. There is a duality, yes, of this energy. There's a yin and yang to this. I raised my head from the book, yeah? Plenty of places to sit. There's a lady just staring at her phone with a cup of coffee beside. Literally straight ahead, facing me, yeah? You'll find this in crowds of people, yeah? You're waiting for a train. You are just standing within a crowd of people. You're chatting to someone, blah, 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 garnering a bit of attention potentially just due to your movements and your comfort, and you're not acknowledging the world around you. And then you just happen to look forward, and straight forward, there's a woman. Potentially not looking at you straight in the eyes. I mean, if so, that's a clue in itself, which should be bold as day, but she's just present ahead of you. This is the woman making the first move because she is in understanding and she is aware of who is around her, especially men, because she needs to be sure that she's not putting herself in a life-threatening position. If she is to some degree on the slightest little bit non-verbally present, that's a subconscious process that is making herself present in your space. And now this is the thing. That is where you as a man go up and you say hello. When she's on the mat beside you, bloody hell, you got a pair of biceps on you, do you compete? When you're in the coffee shop, you know what I mean? You might walk by and just, if she was reading, I'm a reader myself, I was just curious as to what you're reading. Oh, what really? Blah, blah, blah. You start speaking over mutual agreements. You start creating a connection. I am you, you are me. We are the masculine and feminine mirror. Let's come together and let me stick my dick in you, right? Bada bing, bada boom. If her back was turned to you, if you're at the train station and her back was turned to you, if she was slanted adjacent with her back halfway turned to you, she was talking to her friends, if her feet are directly pointing at her friend's feet because they're completely locked in, it's not going to create a good circumstance for you to go over and introduce yourself. That's when you're going to get shot down. That's when you're going to get the whole, oh, I've got a boyfriend thing. That's when you're going to get all these different excuses. But this might exist outside of the conscious awareness of this woman. Yeah, she's picked up on you that you are there, because of course when she's come into the space, she's had a look around to ensure she knows what's going on, but she's chosen that potentially for a reason outside of her conscious awareness. Oh, you know, I'll just sit here. And do you know why she'll just sit there? Do you know why she'll just go there? Because she's not threatened, right? If it created a potential to engage with somebody threatening, she wouldn't have done that. So she's not threatened by your presence. And most alpha, well, I say most, not most. Some people who get the whole alpha and dominance thing like confused might think, well, I want to be threatening and blah, blah, blah. Nah, you don't. There's levels to it, right? Which we're not going to get into on this video. But the last thing you want is a woman calling you threatening, because that's when you're going to get accused of things after that relationship. Oh, he was this, he was that, he scared me and blah, 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 blah. You need to have that within you, right? You need to have that masculine energy, but you need to be reeled in and you need to be composed and you need to be stoic, yeah? She's going to appreciate that. She's going to love that to bits, because all the other men she's been with, emotionally childish, immature, right? But you're not that. So that's some game. Not social, well, yeah, call it social media, call it dating apps. You're going to match with a woman on Tinder, right? And unless she sees that you've both matched and that you're of like such a higher stature and value and celebrity than she is, she's probably not going to talk to you first. But she has made it aware. In her way, she has made the first move by swiping on you, because these women don't need to swipe on no one. These men are swiping left, right and centre on everybody, right? But these women aren't swiping on no one until someone who is okay, at the very least, pops up. So essentially, she's made the first move, because statistically speaking, she's put herself out there more so than she would have if she was in the real world. Now, she's not going to probably pop up on the chat and say the first hello, because ball's in your court. Because such as the real world, you're going to have the first move into engaging with her, which isn't really the first. She's made it clear that she wants to be spoken to. Does this make sense? Does this make sense? If you're in the supermarket, someone might come and look at the same frozen section as you. She might stand literally just beside you to the point where she is within your intimate space. That's not by chance. What more needs to be said? That's some game. That's some non-verbal game. That's some psychological game. That's some biological game. Click like and subscribe. Peace.